right now we are going to be doing a little prediction, if you will, some predictions of some upcoming, what we hope to be a part of the DC Studios announcement that is going to be coming soon. And Aquaman is holding up the world with his trident. Awesome.
Oh my God. I promise that wasn't planned.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're here to discuss our 5 projects we would like to see in the upcoming announcement from James Gunn and Peter Safran from DC Studios. And we're going to go off by saying this right away. We're not including Superman because we already know that's in development. We know that's coming. And presumably that'll be the first project, a part of the DCU. Not guaranteed, but we know they're currently working on it. And even James Gunn came out today and confirmed we're not getting a Superman casting announcement anytime soon. And they're not even done writing the script. But I'm assuming this is the first project. So I believe we're going to go back and forth with our first choice, and then we're going to go down the list of our 5 projects outside of Superman that we would like to see a part of this announcement. And we're including films and TV series because we know that they're going to be doing a multitude of different projects involved. So starting off, number 1 from my list, I really like this little graphic here. So starting off, the first project with my list, the first one is going to be Green Arrow and the Black Canary film. I feel like we're going to get this, or it could be just a Green Arrow movie, but I would like it if it was a Green Arrow and Black Canary film to kind of introduce these characters into the DCU, because that's something that I wish they would have done. And I know in Birds of Prey, they had their version of Black Canary, but I think that we need to establish these 2 in the DCU early on, and I would love it for them to be working together, to be a part of this film together. I would really like that a lot, and that'd be my first pick, would be those 2 together. But if it's just a Green Arrow, I get it, but I would like it personally if it was just both, so that we can just kill 2 birds with 1 stone, essentially, both introduced at the same time. But what is your first project?
Well,
oh my God.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So, I think my image is a little cooler, so I'm just gonna say that. No, but for me, I wanted to take the Black Canary movie and redevelop it as part of DCU, and finally make it a Black Canary Green Arrow movie as well. I love Journey Smollett as Dinah, and I think we should, even if they don't go with the Birds of Prey continuity, I still think that she could continue being Black Canary. And listen, I've been campaigning for Charlie Hunnam to play Green Arrow for the last, I don't know how many years. But like, first of all, these 2 would look so fucking hot together. It would be like DC, R-rated, because that's how hot it would be. But yeah, I think it's time that we finally get to see this iconic romance, and Smallville and Arrow just decide to slap us in the face and not give this to us. And I think this could be a fun way to finally, it would not be just a Green Arrow movie with Black Canary or a Black Canary movie with Green Arrow. They would be the 2 leads. It would be their equal shared story. And yeah, I think it's highly time to make it happen. But Jordan, what's your second pick?
My second pick is going to be the Atom Ray Palmer film. I feel like with the popularity of Ray Palmer in the Arrowverse, I think it'd be really cool to introduce the Atom into the new DCU, because I feel like this would be a really cool character to bring forth. Now, obviously, we're going to go, oh, but it's like Ant-Man and Marvel. Like, that's not the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I feel like Ray Palmer would be a great character to change the dynamic of what the DCEU was trying to do and bring forth this character so that we can have a little variety, because something that obviously the DCU did not have a Green Arrow. So if we get Green Arrow in the mix in the DCU, that's awesome. And I feel like with this case here, we should get a Ray Palmer. I feel like it'd be a great character to have in the mix. But what is your second choice?
My second choice is actually going to be a TV show. And I felt this is something that would be completely in James Gunn's wheelhouse, and that is a Plastic Man TV show. I think I feel like we've heard about Plastic Man getting a movie in development, then going away, then getting redeveloped and going away, getting redeveloped and going away. I think James Gunn is, I think, the person to bring Plastic Man to life, and I think it would be a great kind of like dark comedy HBO Max series that would fit what James is looking for, but also it would allow him to go for that strategy he's talking about, which is going for just famous characters, but also lesser known DC players.
Mhm.
I think it could be a lot of fun if they did that. What is your third choice?
My third choice is a TV series. It is Martian Manhunter. I feel like this is going to be a character that I think is going to be brought forth into a big role in the DCU. I feel like this is a character, we know obviously Supergirl had Martian Manhunter. We know that in the Snyder Cut we had Martian Manhunter finally revealed in the mix. But I feel like with the DCU, it's time for us to fully meet this character. And I think it'd be really cool to have a TV series based off him. Now, obviously, if they did a film with Martian Manhunter, be great. But I feel like a TV series, we could really dive more into him being a part of this world. And presumably, if Superman is first, then not saying Superman is going to pop up in his show, but the idea of like he knows that there is this alien out there that revealed himself or has revealed himself. And so where is he and what exactly happened in whatever continuity they decide to go with his version of the character? I would like to see it explored in a TV series, potentially. I feel like they would just have it more time to develop. But what is your third project? Oh my gosh. We keep having the same ideas.
I swear to God, did you look at my list before I'm kidding?
No, I made my list
I'm
hours
kidding.
ago.
The only thing I will add is that I feel that Martian Manhunter is the kind of character that is people know of him, but I don't think he's on like a Superman level. And I think because I think also James Gunn, I think should do stuff with film and TV that also takes place in space. Like this could be a really cool space show that, not just seeing Martian Manhunter's life on Earth, but also kind of just seeing, maybe he traveled with other famous DC aliens. I think this could be a cool show for HBO or HBO Max. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna give my choice because I'm just afraid that you're gonna have the same choice as me. So I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay.
Batman and the Bat Family. So this one because there's a lot of caveats with this one. We know the Batman franchise is still going forward, still part of its own universe, yada yada yada. I think a Batman movie is inevitable, but for them to make it as different as possible from Matt Reeves' franchise, they need to start out with having I think at least a couple of Batman players in play. Like maybe Robin, Dick Grayson is already Nightwing, because I think everyone pretty much knows Nightwing at this point. Maybe Barbara is already Batgirl or Oracle, and then we have a Robin, but doesn't necessarily need to be. They don't have to go in order if it's like Jason Todd or if it's Tim Drake or Damian Wayne or whatever. So, but at least like they need. I think that people have seen so much of the Bat stuff in not just live action, but in so many animated shows that I think you could have a Batman movie that starts kind of like in the middle of their journeys, where they can flash back to when Dick was a Robin or when Jason was a Robin or other potential things in Batman's career. Because that's the only way a Batman movie is going to work for the DCU. Because if they're just doing another Batman movie where it's just him, like it's pointless. Like I don't really know if I'm going to care because I'd rather see what they're doing, what Matt Reeves is going to be doing. So I would say like a Bat Family type of movie. I don't know what you could call like Batman and Batman the Gotham Knights or something like that. I don't know, but it needs to be. He cannot be alone. Otherwise, James Gunn is going to have a hard time selling this to, especially the comic book audience. But it's like, again, like people going to wonder, why is there a solo Batman movie when we already have Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson? What is your next choice?
Well, I will save my fifth choice because it is similar to yours. But my fourth choice on the list is it could be either a film or TV show, depending on how they went about it, is Wonder Woman. Now, the reason why I'm bringing Wonder Woman in the mix is because I don't feel like they're going to announce Wonder Woman right away, but I feel like it's going to happen soon because you have to introduce your big three. You have to introduce your Trinity at some point early on to fully establish the DCU to have them, the big hitters there. And obviously, they don't need to do that. I just feel like they're probably going to. So I feel like a TV series might be interesting if they go the route of maybe focusing more on Themyscira and having her, of course, be the lead, but maybe it's just her on Themyscira before she really leaves and becomes Wonder Woman. So like the idea of like setting up more of an origin, because obviously we saw that in Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman, the first film, but having like a limited series, like 6 or 8 episodes of establishing Diana more on Themyscira before she goes off to become Wonder Woman, and maybe you end the series with Steve Trevor or something, like basically like setting that up. Or in the film, obviously, they would have to tell a very different story because you can't, like within a few years after that first Wonder Woman movie, tell another origin of Wonder Woman. You would have to like just basically just do a film where she's already Wonder Woman. You don't, because it's too close together. So the only way the TV series would work is if they did more of an origin setup and make it vastly different. But if they do the film, don't do an origin. Just get right to where she's been Wonder Woman and people know who she is, and then maybe you flash back to doing some like origin stuff throughout it. But it's got to be structured very differently, or else it's going to be seen as, oh, they're just copying what Patty Jenkins already did. But what is your fifth and final choice for this potential slate?
It is Gotham City Sirens with someone as Poison Ivy, someone as Catwoman, and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I don't know who you would cast as Poison Ivy or as Catwoman. I'm not going to deal with that tonight. But I think this feels like also something that James Gunn would do in terms of like, because I don't think every project he's going to announce is just going to be focusing on a traditional hero. I think there were going to be some anti-heroes and villains too. And I think Gotham City Sirens has so much potential to work as a film, and everyone. I don't think there's one person on this planet that hates Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think this would finally be the time to make it happen and focus on something that isn't as, maybe they can take the lessons that they learned from Birds of Prey. Because even though I love Birds of Prey, there were some things that didn't work with that film. They can take the things that they learned about that film and apply it to Gotham City Sirens. Mm-hmm. That's my final choice. What is your final choice?
My choice is very similar to your fourth one. I picked a Batman film. Obviously, I feel like that's a foregone conclusion. Now, your points about a Bat family film, when I made the choice to go, okay, I feel like Batman's going to be announced early on. And I feel like the whole thing about where Matt Reeves today mentioned that they're going to have a meeting between him and James Gunn, and I'm assuming Peter Safran as well, to discuss what he's doing and to figure out what they're doing on their end with the DCU. They're going to have to make sure there are some clear distinctions. I feel like obviously they might go an older Batman. So that Bat family thing you were mentioning is probably going to be a part of it in some capacity. And they're probably also going to make it to where the look of this Batman for DCU is not going to be confused with the look of Robert Pattinson. I think Robert Pattinson obviously over time is going to get a different suit. He's going to look different. But they're going to make sure that the color scheme and the design of the suits are going to be vastly different. And I feel like also, like I said, they're probably going to go older Batman, older Bruce Wayne, to make sure, not like 40s, but to make it clear these are two distinctly different Bruce Waynes and Batman. Now, obviously, what Matt Reeves accomplished in the Batman with Robert Pattinson is pretty much what you would expect when you're reading a Batman comic book, like an early origin of the character when he's early on in his career. And he's really, really broody and really like just like weighed down with basically trying to save his city. Gotham isn't shit. So they got to figure out how they're going to approach that differently in the DCU, because you can't literally just do what Matt Reeves did again, because that's already been done. So you have to figure out small things to where it feels like Batman, but you're not treading the same water that Matt Reeves already accomplished. And that's the same thing with the whole Wonder Woman. If you do a Wonder Woman film in the DCU and you're basically covering a lot of the things Patty Jenkins did, people are going to see it as, oh, you didn't really do a lot of work, did you? You just looked at what that movie did and you just copied that. Because that movie was really successful. People really enjoyed that Wonder Woman movie. And so if they just go, okay, let's let's pick that and that and that worked. They have to really be creative with some of these things because some of these characters have already been established and have already had projects. So they're going to have to be very careful because the Batman, like I was rewatching some scenes from the Batman earlier tonight. I was just going through the first time walking out from the darkness, beating up all those guys, him going into that crime scene with Jim Gordon. Like just seeing that again, I'm like, my God, this is what I wanted from a Batman film. This is what I wanted from Ben Affleck's Batman too. Like I wanted this shit. So how are they going to accomplish that with a Batman project after it's already been done?
Maybe he's in his, maybe he's in his, because this Bruce is like in his like 20s. Maybe this new Bruce will be in his
30s.
mid 30s. Yeah. So
yeah,
like,
so it's probably a different dynamic. It's just Matt Reeves already captured a really gritty Gotham. Like we think of like what Christopher Nolan did with the Dark Knight trilogy. It's its own tone and it's good. But when you look at what Matt Reeves did and you think on a really shitty Gotham and a really gritty Gotham, he nailed it. He nailed it with the look. And it's so good. And I'm like, I don't know how they're going to pull this off, but they have to because you have to have a Batman in the DCU. But how do you make it to where it's not seen as a copy of what Matt did, but also make it feel like Gotham and Batman? It's going to be a tall order. But I think your idea of a Bat family, that's a changing the dynamic. Him going out there with a Robin and a Batgirl or something, or a Nightwing. Like say Dick Grayson's like actually closer to Bruce's age if they wanted to kind of switch some of the mythology a little bit. So it's a Batman, Nightwing, and a Batgirl. Like that would definitely change the film structure and the tone of it because you have Dick Grayson and Barbara going off each other. You know what I'm saying? So you might be onto something with that Bat family.
I just rather wish that they, I feel like the biggest thing they could do different, not just besides doing the Bat family, is if they literally did Batman on HBO, like Sunday nights HBO, like dark as fucking shit, like we can finally see like some sides of the Batman mythology that we haven't seen before because movies always have to be PG-13. Like that's why when you was talking about Wonder Woman, like as a TV show, like I don't think she should be relegated as a TV show. I'd rather her continue as a movie franchise, but maybe this time not be stuck in the past and more in the present.
And that may be what they do different because 84 was still in the past, so they could do a modern Wonder Woman. Yeah.